Good morning, everybody on YouTube. This is Rick Thomas from Obsolete Video Services. Hey guys, I thought I'd make a video of this. This is a very interesting discovery, and I just thought I'd make a video and explain a few things when you're doing repairs on a lot of this vintage old stuff. I'll tell you, I've seen it all, but this is something that I didn't really realize was going to be relatively simple. So I wanted to explain this to you guys. All right, we're working on the Ampex VR system. Okay, this is where we got an enormous amount of tapes we're going to be doing. This is the VR 1-inch Type A machines. We do have two of these that are in perfect working order. We got another one over here. All right, now the VR systems, I'm working on a third one, which is on my table. And these systems, like I said, they're very old. They're from the mid-60s. We do have a schematic on my computer as well. And I'm working on a third unit. We're going to be working on a massive amount of tapes, all right? So I try to make sure these machines are maintained as much as possible because it's going to be a lot of work. And I don't want machines to be going down because of problems. All right, as you can see on this schematic, this is for the VR-7500. It's the overview of the parts, specifically the scanner that you see right here. So you got the scanner and how it's assembled, and what washers are used, that type of thing. All right, well, I just discovered this. The machine that I'm working on has had some very, very heavy use over the years. TV station, somebody used that machine an awful lot. Now I want to explain when you have problems with these old video machines, especially these 1-inch machines, when you're servicing a deck, you want to make sure you fix it correctly, but you want to bring it back to factory. Well, here's a discovery that I stumbled upon. This is the scanner off of the machine I'm working on my table. Okay, as you notice, this is the video head right here, which mounts at the very top on the inside. This is your PG coil or video head switching magnet, pretty much, which is on the bottom. This scanner goes together and it unplugs. It relatively is very easy and simple to put together. And then you got your pulley with the little belt on it, and that's it. It's not a really complex scanner, relatively pretty primitive. And then these are weighted lead weights for the weight of the unit to make it nice and heavy for the top scanner. All right, what I discovered was the bearings on this thing are completely dried out. This thing is seized. These bearings are seized and they don't spin. When I took the scanner out, I noticed it was making a ton of noise, and then it just was really hard to spin. So we got some bad bearings. All right, these bearings, they seized up, and because of heavy use and dried out grease and everything else, this one bearing is missing a couple bearings on the inside that must have fell out at some point. So we need to replace these. I got a couple of them on order. Now, these scanners on these Ampex machines, the bearings do go bad. There's only two bearings. You got an upper and you got a lower. Well, your upper is here, and then your lower is at the very end with your pulley. So the bearings do go bad on these things, and that applies to like the EIAJ machines as well. These scanners have bearings in them as well, and the Panasonic machines do as well. If you're getting sluggish video, even if you got a somewhat good working machine, it can be that the bearings are going bad on these, and this is why this particular bearing is used in generally almost all the machines. So I'm trying to make sure I have enough bearings on hand. I did order a bunch of these bearings, and these got flanges on the end of it that slide into these grooves when you put them in, and then you reassemble the scanner. Bearings are very important. They're very loose and very freed up with proper grease, and the scanner will spin real easy. If the scanner moves really, really hard, that means your bearings are starting to go bad. And when your bearings go bad, they do need to be changed, because even if you fix the machine, the video is going to be very sluggish going through the machine, and it's not a good thing. But anyways, I wanted to point out on the Ampex machines, as you can see, I'm looking at the schematic. The scanner is relatively easy to take apart. It shows you piece by piece how things are taken apart and what's there, and bearings are very, very important. I mean, bearings are very important on scanners. So we got some new ones on order, and then we'll put this scanner back together. And but generally, you know, it's not an easy thing to do. If, you know, like I said, if you don't have a schematic to look at and get an idea how to take it apart, and then you could just figure out the problem from that point. Usually it's just the bearings. But it takes a relatively large pulley, and once I change these bearings out on these things, I'm gonna reassemble the scanner, and it should be freed up brand new like it was when it was new. And so you don't want the scanner to start snagging during playback when you're running some sticky tapes or stuff like that. If this scanner is really dragging because of bad bearings, you're going to get videotape lockup, and the scanner might even lock up once the bearings seize. The scanner may just stop spinning, which is what happened on this particular machine. The scanner stopped spinning due to bad bearings. So anyways, when you're working on all this vintage equipment, 1-inch, EIA, 2-inch, you know, I've been doing this and all for a long time, and when you're working on this stuff, you gotta really know how to solve the solutions for the problems, especially when you're doing some very, very rare archives for places all over the country, which I am right now, and want to give them the best possible video you can give them. So I hope you enjoy this video.